name is Dr. Meghana Pasi. The holy month of Ramadan is about to begin. The fasts that we do during Ramadan are very different from other types of fasts, for the reason that it is not just for a day or two, but it is practiced for the whole month. Also, there's a change in the meal timings and the sleeping pattern, as well as the circadian rhythm is disturbed. This has effect on both the homeostatic as well as on endocrine processes. Those especially suffering from diabetes have to be extremely careful about their eating patterns as well as their physical activity and their sleep timings. Here are a few healthy eating practices that the diabetics can adopt during the month of Ramadan. Firstly, be careful about what comes on your plate. The composition of the meal is very important. It should have around 40 to 50% of complex carbohydrates, 20 to 30% of proteins, and the rest of the energy, that is around 30%, should come from fats. Prefer foods that are low in glycemic index. For example, vegetables, brown rice, soya, legumes, dals, whole grains, millets. These are all low in glycemic index. And try to avoid white rice, potatoes, other roots and tubers, and foods that are made from refined carbs, that is maida. Foods that are made from which have a higher glycemic index, they tend to increase the blood sugar levels faster. Dates is a very good example of a food that has not just fiber but also a lot of minerals like magnesium, iron, potassium, as well as it has a low glycemic index. Hence, when you break the fast, you can have 2 to 3 dates along with a glass of water or some nimbu pani or coconut water. Next comes is the proteins. Have good sources of proteins in both suhoor as well as iftar meals. You can have pulses, legumes, lean meats, fish, low-fat milk, curd, paneer, soya, quinoa. Having proteins, it takes a longer time to digest in your system, and hence the release of glucose in the bloodstream is slower, and therefore it is important that proteins become part of all your meals. Now coming to sugar, salt and fats, try to restrict the salt intake. Do not go for chips and fried chicken or sausages, processed foods, burgers or pizzas or pastas during Ramadan. The reason is that a higher sodium intake can lead to dehydration. Further, it can also increase your blood pressure. Try to avoid sweets like gulab jamuns and jalebis, which are made from refined sugars. Instead, opt for a bowl of fruit, or you can add fruit pulp to your desserts along with some dates and some figs, cardamom, cinnamon to perk up the sweetness of your desserts. Also note that whatever is cooked from refined sugars, they tend to spike the sugar levels at a faster rate than those natural sugars that are present in fruits. So fruit become a better option compared to the desserts which have refined sugars. Do not forget to have enough fluids. You need to stay hydrated, and therefore it could be soups, or you could have nimbu pani or green tea or some milkshake. These will help to keep your body hydrated. At the same time, avoid caffeine, that is tea and coffee, as much as possible. Now, this was about the dietary practices. Another very important thing is that you should be regular in monitoring your blood sugar levels, and any spike, or if you start feeling hypoglycemic, you should consult your doctor as soon as possible. Thank you, and wish you a very holy and a healthy Ramadan.